Hello student, today we are going to learn distance formula coordinate geometry of class 9, and now we are going to do let us walk 4 and question number 2. Let us calculate the distance between the 2 points given below, and the first question is 5,7 and 8,3. We have to find out the distance between these 2 points 5,7 and 8,3, and now we are going to do a solution. First question is 5,7 and 8,3. To find the distance between these 2 points, what we have to do is require distance equals to, we have to write the square root, and inside the square root we have to subtract the two number, and the two number, that is 5 and 8. First number of this and first number of this. Your first number is 5 and your first number is 8. We have to subtract 5 and 8, and we have to do square of it, and we have to write plus, and in the second bracket we have to subtract the second number, that is y coordinate 7, and your back number is 3. Your back number is 7, your back number is 3. We have to subtract 7 and 3, and we have to square it. And in the next step, when you subtract these two, we get minus 3 square plus, and when you subtract this, we get 4 square. And in the third step, square of 3 is 9 and square of 4 is 16. When you add this, 9 plus 16 will be equals to 25, and 25 is a product of 5 and 5. That's why it will come out as 5 unit. In this way it can be solved. Now we are going to do a second question, and the second question is number 2 question is 7, 0 and 2, minus 12. And to do and how to solve is this, we have to write require distance equal to, it is similar to first one also, we have to write the square root, and we have to subtract the number which is in the front. Here is 7, here is 2. We have to subtract this number 7 and 2. 7, here is coordinate of x is 7, here coordinate of x is 2. We have to subtract this 2 number, and we have to write the square, and then we have to write plus. And the coordinate of y is here 0, here is minus 12. We have to subtract 0 and minus 12, but here also minus, that's why minus and minus it will be plus 12. In this way it can be done. And in the next step, 7 and minus 2 is 5, and 5 is square we have to write, and 0 plus 12 is 12 and square of 12. And next step, square of 5 is 25 and the square of 12 is 144. When you add this, we get 169. As 169 is the product of 13 and 13 multiplied, it will come 169. That's why answer will be 13 unit. In this way it can be solved. Now we are going to do our third question, and the number 3 question, and the number 3 question is minus 3 upon 2, 0 and 0, minus 2. First of all, we have to write the required distance equals to, we have to write the square root, and inside the square root we have to subtract the two number, that is minus 3 upon 2 and 0. Minus 3 upon 2 minus 0. We have to subtract these two number, and we have to write plus, and in the second step we have to subtract the 0 and minus 2. When 0 is subtracted, when we subtract 0 and minus 2, here is minus, so we have to write a plus 2 square. And in the next step it will be minus 3 upon 2 square only, and when you add 0 and 2 it will be only 2 square. And in the third step, square of 3 will be 9 and square of 2 will be 4, and here also square of 2 will be 4. Another step, here is a 9 and 4 will be 16 upon 4. The next step, when you add 9 and 16 we get 25, and below it will be 25 upon 4. As 25 is the product of 5 and 5, so we have to write only 5, and 4 is the product of 2, we have to write only 2. When we divide 5 by 2, we get 2.5 unit. In this way it can be solved. Now we are going to do number 4 question, and in number 4 question is 3, 6 and number 4 question is 3, 6 and minus 2, minus 6. We have to write required distance. We have to write required distance, and we have to write the square root, and we have to subtract first number. Your first number is 3, your first number is minus 2. We have to subtract 3 and minus 2. As it is already minus, we have to write it plus, and it will be square, and we have to write plus, and in the next we have to subtract 6 and minus 6. Here it is 6, and when you subtract minus 6, we have to write plus 6. It will be square, and here 3 plus 2 will be 5 square, and here 6 plus 6 will be 12 square. When you square of number 5, it will come 25, and square of 12 is 144. When we add this, we get 169. As 169 is the product of 13, so we have to write only 13 unit. In this way it can be solved. Now we are going to do number 5 question. Number 5 question is 1, minus 3 and 8, 3. We have to write required distance equals to, we have to write the square root, and here we have to subtract first number. Your first number is 1, your first number is 8. We have to subtract 1 and 8. We have to write square, and then we have to write plus, and in the next we have to subtract minus 3. Minus 3 with 3. Minus 3, and we have to subtract 3. Minus 3 square. And when you subtract these two numbers, we get minus 7 square. And when you subtract this, minus and minus will be plus, and it will come number. And it will be square. As the square of 7 is 49, and the square of 6 is 36. When we add these, we get 85. It doesn't come out from the square root, so it will be root 85 unit. Now we are going to do number 6 question, and number 6 question is 5, 7 and 8, 3. First of all, we have to write the required distance. Required distance will be equals to, we have to write the square root, and first we have to subtract 5 and minus 8. 5 and 8 we have to subtract, we have to write square, and then we have to write plus, and in the next step we have to do subtraction of 7 and 3. 7 and 3 will be subtracted, and we have to write square. As when you subtract 5 and 8, we get minus 3 square. When you subtract 7 and 3, we get number 4 square. As the square of 3 is 9, and the square of 4 is 16. When we add this, we get 25, and 25 is the product of 5 and 5, so that's why answer will be 5 unit. In this way, this type of question can be solved. You have to practice a lot. If you practice regularly, you'll be perfect, and you'll do better. Thank you for today.